Oh, hello there. How you doing? Doing great? That's fantastic. What's my name? Profe Kyle. Exactly. And here I am, walking in a forest, about to give you a simple English video. And if you're asking me, why does the forest look so dead? Well, it's still springtime here in Canada, so yeah, it's still not quite green, but it's starting to get green. You can see a little bit of green in the trees behind me. And I normally don't make videos while walking. This might be my first time doing it. So we'll see how this goes. And yeah, I'm a little bit out of breath. Maybe that means that I need to get more exercise. And if you hear dogs barking, it's because my dogs like to bark sometimes when they're on the trails. No, not all the dogs, just one dog. You might see him. He's the brown dog you'll see running around in the video. And this is a simple English video, so remember to turn on the subtitles. I believe they're right here, or maybe right here, but they're here somewhere, so turn them on. And this video will conclude my series of videos about all the times I've been robbed. So, the first time I got robbed, if you remember, was in Bogotá. That was with a knife. So 4 guys and 1 guy with a knife. You can watch that video if you haven't seen it already. The second time I got robbed was in Barranquilla. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to use this thing. Was in Barranquilla in Colombia. I was at Carnaval and they pickpocketed me while I was on my way to a street party. And the third time I got robbed was in Cali, Colombia. And this was, let me see. This was about, I'm gonna say 10 months ago or 9 months ago, something like that. I believe it happened in, maybe August of 2023. So how did this happen to me? Well, again, this was kind of my fault. You see, I was living in Cali and I was living in a, let's say middle class neighborhood, close to the tourist neighborhood of San Antonio, where lots of gringos go to do gringo tourist stuff. So in this case in Cali, it's learn how to dance salsa. Of course, I already know how to dance salsa, so I wasn't there to learn salsa. I was there because my girlfriend lives there. That's where her family's from. And I just happened to be staying in that neighborhood. Now, one thing about many Latin American cities is that they're not very walkable. And I don't really like that. I like walking around like I'm doing right now on these trails. So, one night, I was hungry. My girlfriend was hungry. And I looked at Google Maps and I saw that there was an Argentine food place nearby. Because really nearby, there really wasn't anywhere to eat. Now, where are my dogs? Not a big deal. They'll find me. They always find me. So yeah, where I was staying, it was quiet, which for me is very important. I like to stay in places which are quiet because I like quiet because this is where I grew up. I do not like lots of noises, but at the same time, there really wasn't any place to eat nearby. But the place I chose, the Argentine food place, nearby. Nearby. Eh, it was it was about 20 minutes walking, which for me isn't a long distance. Maybe for you it's a long distance, but for me it's not a long distance. At the same time, this is Colombia, where robberies happen all the time. So I knew that if I walked at about 9 p.m. in the evening, that I would be increasing my chances of getting robbed. But I thought I'm going to stick to the main roads, and there should be enough people walking around at that time of night that I won't have any problems. So my girlfriend and I, we took the chance, but we didn't take our cell phones. That's just something I learned from getting robbed twice already, is that if in Latin America I'm going to put myself into uncomfortable situations on the street, in public, then just don't take the cell phone. So I left my cell phone at home. My girlfriend left her cell phone at home, even though the Argentine empanadas that we ate were very Instagrammable. And we walked to the Argentine place. And going there, no problems. It was a little bit quiet. I was definitely very uneasy, but I didn't want to pay an Uber to go, I don't know, 10 blocks. It really wasn't that far. And I'm not really that cheap, but at the same time, I don't want to pay an Uber just to go someplace 10 blocks away. It seems kind of silly. It doesn't make sense to me. So we walked, no problems. We went to the place, got our Argentine arepas. Not arepas. Sorry, was I saying arepas? What I've been meaning to say is empanadas. Argentines have the best empanadas, if you don't know. So we walked there, had the empanadas. They were delicious, not exactly like in Argentina. The I don't know, the outside, the wheat crust, yeah, it wasn't the greatest, or not the exact same quality as in Argentina. But still, it was pretty close. My girlfriend was impressed. She understood why I said that Argentine empanadas are better than Colombian empanadas. Now, we walked there without any problems, so we decided, well, let's walk back. And it's not that far. I don't think we're gonna have problems. We'll see what happens. So we walk back, and again, we try to follow the streets that have people on them to try to stay safe. And we pass one really busy intersection. This part of the neighborhood, there were a lot of people. There was a place to drink, there was a place to eat, there's another place to eat. There were a few different places to eat, but more, I guess, local Colombian hangouts, not for fancy food or foreign food, just regular Colombian food, regular Colombian beer. So that's why we never went there, because it doesn't really interest me that much. So we pass that busy part of the neighborhood. Might have been a bug. And we are going up a hill. The street that we're on is, again, not that far away from the very, very busy intersection. It's half a block away. So we're walking up the hill, and as we're halfway up the block, suddenly two guys on motorcycles, so two different motorcycles. There's one guy on a motorcycle, then there was another guy on a motorcycle, and they turned onto our block and they passed us. I can't remember if it was me or my girlfriend, but one of us said, huh, suspicious, or huh, Brian is. If you don't know, Brian is kind of the name for, oh my goodness, my dog either killed a rabbit or he found a dead rabbit body. No, I think it's a chicken. That's impressive. If I could show you, I would. I am very impressed by my dog right now. Okay, where was it? So anyways, we're walking and so two different guys, well not two different guys, so two guys on two motorbikes, they turn onto our street, they pass us, and we're by ourselves. There's nobody else on the street. Of course, half a block away, there's a very busy street. But where we're at, there's nobody. And there's no neighbors outside. There's no windows lit up because somebody's inside. We are by ourselves. Not a good situation in Colombia. So they pass us and we're thinking, that is a little bit suspicious, but we don't really think anything about it. We just keep on going. But 5 seconds later, we hear the motorcycles. The engines were going farther away, and all of a sudden we hear the engines coming closer. We look behind us, and the two guys on motorbikes, they're coming back. Yeah. Yeah. Might be able to see it behind me, I'm not too sure, but yeah, there's a dead chicken there. Dead prairie chicken is what we call it. I won't show you a close-up. I don't think you want to see that. So we see the two guys on motorbikes that are coming back, and at that moment we realize, shit. Two Brianies looking for some victims. So, yeah, a few seconds later, the one guy pulls up in front of us to stop us from running, and then his buddy pulls up beside us and says, "Cell phones! Cell phones!" And now, I had already mentally prepared for this. So, I spent quite a bit of time in Colombia. So now, and I've been robbed already twice before this. So, I already had a plan for what to do if a Brian tries to rob me. In that case, I already had money in my back pocket. It was probably about, 12 US dollars. So while he's yelling cell phones, I immediately just take out the money from my back pocket. I give it to him. He takes it, but obviously he wanted a cell phone. He didn't want just 12 US dollars. So again, he's yelling cell phones. And at the same time, he has no weapon. He's looking for his weapon. So he has like a hoodie, kind of like what I have on right now, I think. And around his waist, he was looking for something. And of course, I was pretty sure he's looking for a knife, maybe a gun, whatever. It kind of seemed like it was his first robbery because he didn't really seem to know what to do. And he did seem really young. He was, I don't know, he was almost a white Colombian, but I guess you would say mestizo, like a mestizo young man. He looked like maybe like 16, 17 years old. Really not that old. Same with his buddy. His buddy didn't seem that old at all. About the same age, 16 to 17 years old. But yeah, so he's saying cell phones at the same time. He's looking in his pockets or around his waist for a weapon. So yeah, I gave him the money. He said cell phones. He still doesn't have a weapon. I guess in a way, he either didn't have a weapon, he was trying to pretend he had a weapon, or he had a weapon, but he really didn't know what to do. So I guess I could have either told him to fuck off, or maybe just pushed him off his motorbike, and maybe my girlfriend and I run to the busy part of the neighborhood again to get some help. But I think most Colombians say I made the right decision. I just gave him the money. But we didn't have any cell phones, so he's asking for cell phones. And of course, I speak Spanish, so I told him I don't have a cell phone. He doesn't really believe me. And of course, my girlfriend thinks quicker in Spanish than I do, so she starts explaining to them. And actually, I was very impressed. This is her first time getting robbed, but she was very calm. She just said to them with this face, "We don't have any cell phones. This is That's all we have is just that money. We don't have any cell phones. And me, while she's explaining this to the guy, yeah, I was a little bit pissed off. He was trying to rob me. I unzip my pants, I unbutton my pants, then unzip them, and I open up my fly, as it's called in English. And then I put out my hands, kind of like this, and I say, "Do you want to check? Do you want to check if I'm hiding a cell phone?" Just with that face. I don't think I really said anything. I might have just said, "Go ahead and check." But besides that, my face a little bit smug, kind of like, I know that you're Brian. I know that poor Latinos are quite, I guess you say, homophobic. So I know that's going to make you incredibly uncomfortable to, check my boxers, check my private area for a cell phone. So, you know what? You want that cell phone so bad? You're going to have to get over your homophobic attitude and touch my junk, touch my private area to see if I have a cell phone or not. Or you'll have to just accept that you got 12 US dollars and that's all you're going to get from me, and you're going to have to take off. So, with my smug face, he didn't really seem to like it. Again, it seemed like his first robbery ever. Didn't really seem like he knew what he was doing. So, yeah, his face seemed almost pissed off, but at the same time excited. Like, this is my first robbery. Oh my God, I got something. So, he makes a decision that I'm probably telling the truth. I don't have a cell phone. And him and his buddy, they take off. I zip up my pants again. I do up my button, and he takes off. That's what happened. So, yeah, I got robbed. I didn't really fight back or anything. I just gave him money, and he took it. So it wasn't really that violent. He didn't have a weapon or anything. Maybe he did, but he never got the chance to use it. He didn't have a reason to use it. So that was the third time I got robbed. And quickly, I can tell you the fourth time I got robbed because I don't really want to make a separate video about this. Hopefully you don't mind continuing to listen to me as I keep on walking. The fourth time I got robbed happened a few months later, so this would have been... this happened before Christmas, so this would have been like 5 months ago? Yeah, 5 months ago. Before... No. No. It's like 7 months ago. This happened in October of 2023. No, end of September 2023. I'm about to go back home to Canada, and so literally a few hours before I'm gonna get on a plane and go back to Canada, I'm staying at my girlfriend's parents' house. And again, we're hungry. So luckily, where my girlfriend's family lives, there's a nice area with places to eat nearby, a block away. So we go get something to eat. But again, even though it's only a block away, we don't take any cell phones. No cell phones at all. We just go just with money. I tell my girlfriend that too. I said, I'm not taking my cell phone. Don't take your cell phone. We're gonna take money. Again, even though it was only a block away, we weren't taking any chances. And my girlfriend's neighborhood, it's not an unsafe neighborhood. So, yeah, it really wasn't, nobody in that neighborhood had really heard of any robberies happening at that time. So, we go get something to eat. Nothing happens. I think we got some arepas. And then we walk back. On our way back, this is the craziness of Colombia, is that you could be so close to almost getting home and you still get robbed. So we walk back. Again, it's only a block away. We're walking down the street. not only are we walking down the street, in this neighborhood, there are street guards. So many parts of Latin America, if it's a nice, Marshall, shh, quiet. That's how you tell a dog to shut up. It seems like in some parts of the world, they don't know how to tell a dog to shut up. Back to the story. So we're walking back, residential neighborhood in Colombia, like many parts of Latin America, they'll have street guards to protect the citizens from thieves. So it's the middle of the street. We walk past the guard. I think we even said good night, something like that. And we walk about, I don't know, 20 meters more. And suddenly, two guys on motorbikes. So one guy on one motorbike, one guy another motorbike. They pass us. And again, both of us think, huh, that's very suspicious. But we are literally maybe 20 meters away from her building. So we're thinking, we're so close to home. Like, we're just going to keep on going. So, yeah, keep on going. And we walk to the corner of the block. So it's the corner. And as soon as we are about to turn the corner, the two guys on motorbikes, they attack us. They were waiting for us. So yeah, they passed us, they turned to the left, and then basically they waited for us to turn the corner. Now again, being smart, my girlfriend and I, we both had the right instincts. We both knew that those guys were up to no good. So being smart, we probably would have just stayed in the same place, probably just laid down on the ground, because that street, there are a lot of trees, a lot of bushes to hide behind, and it's a little bit dark. So it would have been very easy just to stop, lay down on the ground, wait like 2 minutes until we were 100% sure that the Bryans had left, but we didn't do that. So we're about to turn the corner. The two Bryans, two robbers, they surprise us, and yeah, we did try to run. I tried to run because we were just, again, very, very close to the entrance of the building. And her family was at home. All we had to do was just yell and scream for help, and we would have got help, and we probably would have been fine. But the guy, they're both really skinny, like really, really skinny guys. They're short and skinny guys. Which again, it really sucks when you get robbed by these guys, because you think, I may be skinny, but I would absolutely beat the shit out of these skinny, malnutritioned pieces of shit. But he has a gun in his hand. Is it a fake gun? Is it a real gun? I don't know. I don't know if it's real or fake. A few months later, I went to a gun range in Colombia, and the guy told me that in Colombia it's actually cheaper to buy a black market real gun than it is to buy a legal sound gun. So I still don't know if it was real or not. It kind of looked like a toy gun, but whatever. But he's pointing it at my head, saying again, cell phone, cell phone. And again, I don't think I responded as my girlfriend, because again, she thinks faster in Spanish. She just told him, we don't have any cell phones. So then, yeah, they quickly check our pockets and they realize, we have no cell phones. Now my girlfriend had a necklace, like a fake gold necklace. So the guy's a little bit angry that he's done all this work to corner two innocent victims, to rob them of their cell phones, and he realizes that we don't have anything. So then for a split second, he checks my girlfriend's gold necklace, inspects it, and realizes that it's not real. he kind of throws it down, pissed off, angry, disgusted that we have nothing, and him and his buddy take off on the motorcycles. So in a way, I didn't get robbed. So I don't know if you consider that the fourth time getting robbed, but they didn't take anything. So I believe it doesn't count as getting robbed. You can tell me what you think. We go back to my girlfriend's family's apartment. We tell them what happened. They tell us that we probably should have just, like I just told you guys, stopped, laid down, waited for them to disappear. I thought the same thing, but again, we didn't make a quick, smart decision. But after getting robbed 4 times in Colombia, I'm getting pretty good at thinking quick in the street. Now, maybe one question you might have if you don't know much about Colombia is, why were there 2 different motorbikes? Because yeah, if you're from another part of Latin America, you might be wondering why. Why would they do that? Because most of the time, also in Colombia, but in other parts of Latin America, if they do motorcycle robberies, it's usually going to be 1 motorbike and 2 guys on a motorbike. But exactly, the city of Cali noticed this pattern. So in order to try to reduce the amount of robberies in the city, they made it illegal for 2 men to be on a motorbike. So that's why for both cases, both robberies in Cali, there were 2 motorbikes and 2 different guys, because that way the cops won't stop them. So hopefully that answers that question if you were wondering about why it was that way. 1 second. Chester! Marshall! Come on! Yeah, so those were the 4 times. Now you know all 4 times that I got robbed in Colombia. Hopefully you're able to understand almost everything I said in this video. If you have any questions, then let me know down below in the comments. And hopefully my mom never finds this video, or else she's gonna have more nightmares whenever I go back to Latin America, and especially back to Colombia. But I think I've learned from all of my mistakes. I shouldn't fall into any more Brian traps. And that's that. Have you ever been robbed? Let me know what happened to you down below in the comments. And again, hopefully you learned some new vocabulary. Again, hopefully you understood everything. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this walk. If you like this atmosphere, let me know too. And I'll make more videos like this when I'm walking. I'll see you in the next video, my dear, dear students.